there's this conversation coming up, and I would want you all to stay tuned and be part of it. Maybe you might have some questions and want to ask, and this I'm serious than you think. You see, we are all living our lives. We are going about our daily lives, but day in, day out, we wake up and we hear so many stories. This person is not well. That person is not well. This person passed on. This person is sick. You don't know how it happened. You don't know how it started. But I tell you what, there are some people who have been there, and today they are still here with us, and they want to tell us so much. They want to share so much with us. In fact, you might want to know, and I tell you what, today our lifestyle segment, we are taking it a notch higher. So I have some gentlemen who will be joining me here in the studios, and trust me, you would want to hear stories of how your lifestyle can lead to strokes, kidney failure, and a number of sicknesses or diseases. I tell you, you might not want to have that feeling, and you wouldn't even want a relative, a loved one, to even go through that. So this morning, as I said, our lifestyle segment today, we are looking at circumstances or the things that leads to you having strokes or kidney failure. This morning, I am speaking with Prempeh, who is at stage 5 kidney failure. Yes, stage 5. He's here with us, and he has so much to share with us. Please and please, just tap that friend who is near you, tap that brother who is near you, and tap that sister who is listening, and tell them that, listen, let's all listen to this. Let's advise ourselves, and let's help each other live a healthy lifestyle. It is not easy, and it's not to say that everybody is living anyhow, but you just don't know how it might happen. But when it happens, or when in fact you don't even want it to happen, so I'm sure there's so many things you can do to avoid all that. So yes, Prempeh joins me this morning here on Daybreak Hits. Good morning, Prempeh.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm very well.
I'm happy to see you. When before you came in, I kept on asking Mr. Hagler, does he really want to talk about this? Yes. And he said yes. I know a number of people might find it difficult. Sure. It might be challenging because for you to get to that point, you just feel frail, and it might be difficult for you to share that story. But I'm happy you're here with us this morning to share your story with us.
Sure.
So first off, I'd like to find out from you, because we all want to believe that there are things that our bodies might be telling us that we might not know. What were some of the early signs or symptoms you experienced before diagnosed with your kidney failure?
So my kidney failure came as a result of high blood pressure. And on my part, what happened is that in 2022, I realized that for some time in the morning when I wake up, I'll feel serious headache at the back of my head. Very serious pains. Every morning when I wake up from bed, I feel serious headache. And instead of ideally I was supposed to be taking BP medication.
Right.
But as a Ghanaian as I am, I was taking painkiller instead. And that was the consistent symptom that I was seeing, at least for the early stages. And it's as a result of the high blood pressure, and of course myself not taking care or taking the right drugs that resulted in what I'm seeing. Then I think it took within 3 months period, I realized at a certain point when the kidney failure was kicking or has kicked in, I realized when I urinate, it was blood. Oh. Yeah, it was blood, and it was foamy. At a point, it was foamy. And I also realized that whenever I go out and I come back home, my leg will be swollen, seriously swollen, to the extent that my shoe will be full. I can't even remove my trousers because my legs are swollen from the foot all the way through to the knee. It's fully swollen. So it was within that stage that I realized that something is happening to me, which I really didn't know what was happening. Wow. And I spoke with somebody, and the person advised me that I talk to a professional doctor. So when I spoke to the doctor said I should do kidney function test.
Right.
Yeah, and bring it. And of course, after I did the test, took it to the doctor, and that's where the news was broken to me.
Oh my God.
Yes,
How did you feel at that point?
You go see a doctor, and the doctor tells you, the first thing the doctor asked me was that, am I taking any painkiller? He mentioned a particular painkiller, and of course, that was the painkiller I was taking. And interestingly, he asked me if I'm taking that particular painkiller, and I said that's what I'm taking. And he said, your kidney is level only 10%.
No way.
Meaning that then I was supposed to start dialysis.
Then no.
Like there was no life in my kidney. That's what he wanted to tell me. He couldn't do anything for me. And the news, as I received it, I've heard about kidney, problems and all that. So I knew it couldn't be healed. At least the best of my life that I knew it couldn't be healed by itself. Of course, there's a transplant and all that. So I was like, it was like a sentence to me, And of course, it comes with financial, difficulties also. And at that time, I didn't know where I was going to get the money, even to take care of as a matter of fact, I didn't even find out how much it would cost me to do the dialysis. Because the money wasn't there. So there's no need for me to be, making those inquiries. And, eventually I had to go and do the dialysis.
Right.
But it took me a while.
Yeah.
It took me a while before I did the dialysis. It took me almost a year. I stayed home for a year.
Wow.
And to tell you the truth, I've gone through all the various, hectic stages of kidney failure prior to me going for the dialysis.
Right.
I was swollen. From my toe to my hair, I must say. I was swollen. I was so swollen, my stomach, my arms. I became like, as you call, bolo. My balls became big. So much so that when I'm going to the bathroom, I've actually had to hold it, so that I can.
You can bath.
Yeah, I can bath.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But in all of this, can you share some lifestyle habits or factors that you believe contributed to that condition, and how, you changed since you were diagnosed?
Yeah, so as I said, it's a result of high blood pressure. And I remember my first encounter with high blood pressure. That was in 2021, November day about. One evening like that, I went out, a young man. I had time, came back home. I came late, around 10 day about. And I ate very late. To talk of it, I ate fufu at 10 p.m. You can just imagine. And I was somebody who was eating late also. I mean, anytime I get food, regardless of the time
you eat,
regardless of whatever food it is, there was no consideration. So it's those lifestyle that's caused it. So that particular day, I ate the fufu around 10 p.m. When I finished eating, quickly I went to bed. I went to bed. So around 2:30 in the morning, at dawn, let me say, I woke up all of a sudden feeling thirsty. So I took water. After drinking the water, I realized I couldn't breathe again. Yeah, I couldn't breathe again. And within that 10 to 15 minutes, it was a battle. There are times, sometimes you see, they will say, and sometimes you see some whitish substance coming. That was it. Most of it is blood pressure that killed them. And I had the same attack. But for me, I was awake, and like 10 to 15 minutes, I couldn't breathe. It was the best choice was to die because I was suffering. But through a miracle, I would say so. Through a miracle of some sort, I got a bit of relief. So for me, that particular lifestyle of eating late.
It's not a good thing.
It's not at all.
We advise to eat at least before 6.
Before 6, preferably.
6 or 7.
And of course, what's the kind of food that
you eat? You
are eating also. And also, like, these days, most foods that we eat comes with a lot of MSGs. These artificial spices that they use for food and all that. As best as you can, try and resort to these natural ones that we have. I think there are a couple of them in the market. Sankofa is one of them that you can find in the market. So as much as you can, even if you are preparing food in the house, try and get these natural spices and use instead of these artificial. My colleague that I'm with will tell you that there are some spices that when you look at the label, there's nothing really on the label or the ingredients that presuppose that this is actually spices. Everything is artificial. You see sugar, you see color and all that part of spices. As we knew spices to be supposed to be hentia and
ginger, your garlic
but these days we don't get those things. So those things are part of the things that really affect our diet to the large extent and affect our kidneys and of course some of our organs. So on my part, one, and the second thing I also say is that for the first 3 months that I was taking those painkillers, it's very terrible on my part. You've taken the first day, second day, third day. It's not working. You're still taking it. It was an abuse. As much as the drug itself, as the doctor said, that caused it within that short space of time, it was an abuse. Ideally, I was supposed to do at least a checkup. You've taken it for a month.
And it's not working.
It's still happening. At least do a checkup. So it's one lifestyle I also advise people that as much as they can, don't resort to, even if you do self-medication 1 or 2 days and things are not going the way it's supposed to go, come on, just advise yourself, seek medical attention. I didn't do that. I mean, I was somebody who barely, used to go to hospital. So for me, it was normal for me to be taking drug to get the relief and then, move on. And so I would advise people, as much as you can, don't resort to, self-medication, and as possible, do checkups. Because as much as you think that, I'm going to waste my time at the hospital, now that I'm sick, twice in a week, I have to be there. I have to go to hospital. I have to be on the machine for 4 hours. So now who is wasting whose time? If I had done it at that time,
you wouldn't be
these are things that I look back and I see. Sometimes I get emotional when I talk about it.
So sorry.
That these are small things I could have easily corrected, but
take it easy. Take
it
easy. Well, if you're just joining me here on Daybreak Hits, my guest is Prempeh, and Prempeh is currently at stage 4. He has a stage 5 kidney failure, and this morning he's here, been sharing his story, and he's also advising us on some of the things we should do or try to avoid not to get to this stage of our lives. And I want to believe that you're listening. If you haven't heard, you can tap that friend to also tune in right now and listen. If you have any questions, you can send them via our WhatsApp number, and I'll also ask him as well. And I want to believe that per what you said, that you wish when all these were happening, you would have taken the necessary precautions to avoid all these. And sometimes it's life. We all go and come in. Sometimes you just want to see the best for yourself and tend to forget about the things that you also need to take care of yourself. So I don't want to say that you shouldn't blame yourself entirely, but we'll also use your story as a case study so that we can also advise ourselves on the things to do and not to do. So if there's any message you want to share with our listeners about the importance of prioritizing their health, their wellness, particularly in terms of preventing strokes and kidney diseases, what would that advice be?
Well, as I've said it over and over again, being on this side of life that I'm in right now is not pleasant at all. It's too expensive. Going for dialysis twice in a week, you are spending almost like 2,000. Wow. BP medication hasn't come in. Injection for blood hasn't come in. There are some drugs also that you buy. So if you are listening to me, I want you to understand that going for checkups, there are some people too who are sick. Generally, they've been told they have diabetes, they have BP. But this myth that when you take BP medication, your manhood will die on, that is not true. I've been taking BP medication since like I mean, for me, like 3 years now. It's still strong. It's still working. So don't use that flimsy excuse and put yourself into this side of life, because it's not easy. You know, if you get it, if you get kidney failure, you still take the medication.
Right.
So whether you like it or not, you take it. And so as much as you can, right now that you have the opportunity, you hear this story being told, you know, refrain yourself from some of these things. And of course, go ahead and take your medication. Do your checkup, regular checkups as you can. At least if you are told that you have kidney failure, you have high blood pressure or diabetes, as much as you can, every 2 months, if you can, possibly try, not even if you can, try and go for checkups. You know, do your kidney function test and all that, and see how things are going. It could be that even the medicine you are taking is not even working. So try and do those checkups here and there. And then also, you know, take care of your diet. As I said, take care of your diet. If you've not got into the stage of having blood pressure and all that, take care of your diet very well. Refrain from these artificial spices. You know, there are people that they can't go without these
spices. It's
spices.
like what
I don't want to mention any name.
I know.
These days there's some food that came out recently, very popular, that they use these spices. They actually pour the spices on the food and they eat it. And I'm like, really, do you know what is in these spices that you are eating? Just let's, as much as we can, use these natural spices that we have in the market. As I mentioned, Sankofa is one of them that is in the market that is doing so well. Let's resort to it. If we can't do the natural one of
the
you
garlic,
grinding,
the ginger, you grinding up,
get these natural Sankofa spices and other ones that are in the market, and you know, make good use of it. And of course, I believe that, as I said again, this side of life is not sweet at all.
It's not exciting,
and we don't want people to come here.
Yeah.
As I will not wish the sickness on my worst enemy. Not at all. Not at all.
Right. Prempeh, take it easy. Yeah. And now we've also been joined by Osei, who has also survived 5 major strokes. But he's with us here today, and I'm so happy to see him. It's some people even just get a 1 and they're out. Yes. But he has survived 4 major ones, and he's here with us. Good morning, Osei.
Good morning, sister.
How are you doing?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a long time. And forgive me if I've also not even bothered to pick up. You know how our work can be sometimes. We just keep going and we forget sometimes that we need to check on our brothers and sisters.
Yes.
How are you doing?
By grace, we are alive.
How have you been able to survive this? Because you see, we still live, we still go and come every day. I know, you know, you are in this side of our business, and you know how we go. Like during the day we can do, and sometimes even at night we can go all throughout the night. And you know, we wake up and we still feel it's normal. You are just moving like that. Can you share with us some of the symptoms you felt that got you here to even start with the first stroke and subsequently the other 3?
Okay. I'll thank your listeners and watchers. The first one started when I was doing a binge show. You know, I used to own a binge show.
A binge show, yes.
So it started with headaches. I was having for like 3-4 days. I was having severe headaches, like migraine. And then on the Thursday that was ending the second season, even Mac Brown gave me some painkiller to ease the pain down. So on the Friday, I was supposed to do her pre-wedding photo shoot on Saturday. So the Friday we had a meeting on the phone. I said I couldn't. I was very weak. So I was playing video game with my big brother. Those days I used to score everybody. Like the ones that score me were Kwabena, and I used to line them up and score all of them. But this was the case. My brother was scoring me, and I didn't understand. So I kind of got up to go and take water, and I went black. I sat back down. I lost my speech. Suddenly I couldn't speak. I was like blah, 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 blah. I had a draw face and I couldn't walk. My right side was dead. They rushed me to the hospital, and then from there I realized I had a stroke. That was the first one. Second one was the same year, 2016. I won the contract to shoot the elections. So we're out and about the whole nation, eating anyhow, drinking whatever you will get. And then when MPP was declared on the 9th, I go home. I was very tired. There was a little argument at home. When I went to bed, I realized I was having another relapse because the headaches had come back. Before they could rush me to the hospital, I went blind for like 2 months. So it stretched a little. From 2016. I was able to, manage the ailment for a while. Then 2019, 22nd September, I had the contract to do the Nigerian Yam Festival. Right after it, I had another relapse. That one, I went totally dead again. Then the 4th one was a hemorrhage. I was in coma for 4 days. You remember the E-Levy time? There was a minister that came to Parliament to come and vote in an ambulance. I was in the same ward with him. In the ward, we were 13. I'm the only survivor.
What?
Yeah, 13 people in the ward. You wake up in the morning
and then somebody's gone.
Gone. And they put the person right. You see the person. It wasn't easy. And then we realized that most of these things, most of these ailments, lifestyle is part of it. So we came together to start a campaign. About 3 years ago, I did You Are What You Eat, or read the label. Everything you buy, just read the label. Just read what you are consuming in you. I would say mine started with, I had my brother speak about it, 90% artificial spices. Because, our bean show was sponsored by one particular spice. And I could eat it like every single day.
You use it for everything.
And then when we are on set, you get this, like we shoot 5 episodes in a day. And then you have, when you say cut, they have to put it in again. And when we finish, we will eat that food. And I always say, yeah, we have to be very careful with the food we eat outside.
Yeah, buying of food outside.
This sickness is, it got to a time for 2 years, Kolebu said I shouldn't work. They were managing my BPA and my sugars. And that within that 2 years, just my medications were 4,800 every month.
What?
Physio, not part, your regular bills, not part. So if you pay 4,800 a month for even 1 year and you are not working in this economy, so that's why I want the youth and people of our age to know that this is real. You understand? So the small life we have in us, we want to preach the good news for people to be aware that this is there. It's not. Some people say, "Oh, it's alcoholic." Some say, "My brother was an alcoholic."
Yes, we've heard stories. People say, "Oh, Sandodo is alcohol."
No. I stopped drinking 2010.
Some even suggest it's smoking.
I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I stopped like 94, 95.
Yeah.
Drinking 2010.
Not to cut you, I was telling him some time ago that where I do my dialysis, there's a lady, a Muslim lady that also comes for dialysis. She be around 17 there about. And I'm like, if it's a lifestyle of drinking and all that, and she also drink.
Yeah, Muslim.
It's just
this. I don't want to mess anybody's business up, but this so-called noodles, the upper for like outside.
The ones we go to buy. Okay.
You see the spices they put in. Do you know what they put in?
No, it's like
you see. If you read the label of some spices, you see sugar, you see preservative, you see color, you see MSG, you see. But those days our spices were pepper, ginger, garlic. It's the best. It's killing us. And then the next thing is that we don't do regular checkups.
Yeah.
We don't sleep. We don't rest.
Yeah.
Our work.
Oh. Mr. Agla, you have to sleep. Bradash, you have to sleep.
Our work.
You like working too much, the two of you.
But this
So you like working too
in
much.
this economy, if you don't work.
Hey, but we work. You see, some of us, I know, and as I said, you are in this part of our.
Yes.
I mean, look at my colleague Hagla. He works Sunday to Sunday. Medash works Sunday to Sunday. You know, DJ. I mean, we're quite like, you know, the
but
job
you
is
need
like
a rest.
exactly. We all need a rest. So I mean, are you friends, brothers, cousins?
No, he's my friend. We used to work with Metro TV when I was at Metro TV. Yeah.
And you both have come together to actually. Oh. I'm so sorry about this. And I am glad that you two have come together to share your story, not to even sit at home, but the fact that we've all been media colleagues, but you took time to make sure that you are on every media platform to advise and also share your story.
I tell you, for 26 years, I've been behind the scenes. I never put my face on TV.
I know, like you are that calm person, like, you know, you just like to laugh and all that. So I mean, when I got the call yesterday, I was like, what's saying? But yeah, I know God knows best, but as I said, I am happy that you all came together to share your story. Is there a way anybody can reach the two of you in case they need information, they want to talk to you, or they even want to invite you on their platforms to share your stories?
You can call us on 0244 402349 0244 402349. And then we'll be glad. After the radio tour, we are looking at going to the schools, the churches, everywhere they invite us.
You're ready to speak.
Yeah, because we believe that if we have, maybe we don't know when everybody will go, but the small life we have left, let's educate people so that at least if we tell 100 people and 2 people take it, we've saved a life.
At least you've saved a life. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming through this morning. Prempe Enosei, I wish you all the best. And please, as and when, I'm so sorry, I'll try and also be checking up on you. As and when there's anything you also need in terms of help or support, I'm sure that we're here for you. Once we've given you this, we'll always be there for you as well. Thank you so much for sharing with us this morning, and all the best in all you do.
Oh, thank you.
Right. It's still Daybreak. It's here on Hit 1039 FM. If you missed that conversation, it will definitely be on our YouTube pages. It will be on our Facebook pages. This is an opportunity for you to learn, to also advise yourself and know the things to do at every possible time of your life. We talk about our health, but maybe some of us are not taking it seriously. So this is the time you need to take your health seriously and do the right things too. Take care of yourself. My name is Doreen. I have your hashtag Navrongo Check. This is Daybreak Hits, and coming up is the sports update, which is brought to you by ITEL.
This is Hits.